Time now to welcome Lowe and Partners Global India Seminar. It gives me great pleasure to welcome to the stage Michael Roth, Chairman and CEO of the Interpublic Group.
Well, welcome, and thank you for attending what promises to be a very exciting panel discussion. First, let me thank Tony Wright and Michael Wall of Lowe and Partners for bringing us this groundbreaking session. Actually, it's hard to believe, but this is actually the first time that the focus on India is taken to the main stage here in Cannes. And given the importance of India in the global economy, and certainly in the creative part of our business, this truly promises to be an exciting panel.
So what is it that works in brand advertising in India that the rest of us need to understand, that the rest of us can learn from?
I can't even begin to say that because I think there's so many things that work which don't make any sense to the rest of the world. And my life's full of examples of things that I've had to explain to people to get it. But that's part of any culture, and India is no different. There are nuances in any culture, and the Indian advertising works really well when you tap into that, and you tap into the differences and not the similarity. There is a tendency when we do global advertising to kind of look at the similarities of cultures, not so much the differences.
India is a land of imagination, always has been. I believe that locked into what we call, sitting here, we call it the bottom of the pyramid, is so much imagination that's locked in, but that imagination is not tuned to what we call a three-act structure of storytelling. We are a nation of storytellers that are not bound by the energy of a three-act structure, right? Yeah. So when you go in and start provoking those stories, the stories start coming out, but what we need is a reception point. And I think the world, as it's going into social media, we are understanding that social media goes back to the idea of storytelling with no end, which is why how we used to tell stories a long time ago, and it was only to say the Gutenberg press, which was a Western invention that said you have to tell your stories in three-act structures because you have to publish them and release them. Now, as we get back to social media, you can have never-ending stories again because there can be no end. And India is a land of never-ending storytelling. And therein lies its immense imagination. And if we can tap into that, we can become great world influencers because nothing influences people more than storytelling. Everything's a story.
And you just need the patience and the resilience to remember what you thought of through that 1 year and preserve that interest. And especially in India, you've got to also put up with the heat and everything else for what? 1 year. It takes the piss out of you, and it's really kind of, anybody who makes a film in India, any film, is a hero. I mean, I genuinely believe that. It's really chaos. And I would celebrate every filmmaker who just makes a film.
The day you stop looking at India as a market and look upon it as a culture and work from within the culture, which is what you're saying, you will succeed. But as long as you think of it as selling shirts to a Chinaman, you'll fail. Because the Indian brands now are strong. the Indian entrepreneur is strong, the Indian aspiration is strong, and the Indian consumer is confident. When all that changes, then 5 years down the line, when Spider-Man 6 is made and he takes his mask off, he's going to be either Indian or Chinese, I promise you that.